show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica artwork, and we're gonna see if we can, I guess, finalize this design for the Penthesilea picture. And we're also gonna try and add some borders. And I guess the border should go first, so let's see what we can come up with for that. It's kind of like we've done so many borders at this point that I'm getting like burnt out on borders. I don't really have any more ideas for like what I would want to do for them, but let's see if we can't come up with any good stuff. So number one, let's duplicate this. Turn this one off. And we're just going to rasterize this whole thing. Hopefully that makes this work a little faster, this document. Let's turn the document off and turn it back on and see what happens with that. And then we're going to... it still loads for a long time, but I'm sure that helped in some capacity. I think that even if the layer is turned off, it's still, can be problematic for the load times of the document. Because it still exists. It's just that it's not visible. Alright, well, we tried. Yeah, this is clearly the largest Photoshop document so far, and I really don't know why. Because there's nothing fancy happening here. Oh, I also... I turned on a feature. I'm going to try and watch this on the stream. Yeah, I can see it there. So I turned on a feature that it reveals where my pen is hitting the canvas. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to kind of follow along with what I'm doing. It also shows where my fingers are like moving, if I'm doing like double touch or whatever, where I'm squeezing the canvas or whatever. So yeah, hopefully that makes it a little bit more intuitive of a viewing experience. Okay, so now let's try and do some border designs. Okay. It's kind of weird for me to be able to see where my thing is hitting. Alright, so what if we did like we'll get a inside border like that. And then, let's see. Turn off those layers on the side so we don't accidentally touch them. Okay. Oh, that's too far. One, two, three, four. Okay. We're going off script a little bit here. We gotta go like that. Yeah. Okay. And maybe we'll take this and just kind of squish it a little bit because it's a little thicker than the other ones. Okay. Now let's put this on a new layer because I think we're just going to duplicate whatever we make here. Okay, maybe like this. And I think we're going to have to lower this a little bit. All right, that works. I feel like we should add another circle in here, though. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, great. That's exactly right. Now we just want to move this to all the other layers. And I guess we could have just done this where we duplicated the entire, structure that surrounds it, but we want it to at least feel a little bit like they're all individually drawn. So yeah, like this one's a little thinner, and we'll leave that type of feature to it so it doesn't feel like completely duplicated. Okay. Now let's take all this. Put it in a thing. We're going to duplicate this. Turn off the original. And merge. So now this is all just one image. And you know what we also want to do that I forgot to do is let's turn this back off for a second. We're going to make one more layer. Doesn't really matter where it is, but we'll put it on the bottom. And then let's see. That's weird. Did Photoshop just crash? Now we go through the process of opening this document again. I wish I could open this. Well, I could, I guess. You can open this on the PC and see how big it is. And maybe even just clean up some layers on the PC so that I'm not, choking the document all the time. All right, well, interestingly, it seems to have saved everything. I don't know what happened, but I won't question it. And what we want to do, that I was mentioning, is that we want to do this and fill it with black. And you'll see why, if you haven't seen me do these before, in a second. All right, we gotta turn off the bones here. Okay, now this is what we're gonna duplicate. We'll delete this other thing. And now, how do we want to... Okay, yeah. If we do it like this, it'll work. Good, that works pretty well. Because by doing it this way, we automatically have a snapping item that snaps to the top. So it perfectly aligns them. Now let's turn off our color palette here so you can see what we're doing. Okay, good. And then let's just take these three, 1, 2, 3, duplicate all of them. We'll just make that into one big thing, and we'll put that once more. Like that. Okay, oops. Now, we can just move this to the top of the frame. Uh-oh. Like that. It keeps grabbing when I don't want it to grab. Sort of lock that in, and then we're gonna clean up this top section a little bit. Just kind of add black where necessary. I don't really care when it gets lumpy. I think that adds to the sort of hand-drawn quality. But I just want to make sure that there's enough black at the top that it feels separated. Because the book itself, we essentially, when you make a book like this, the way that the typesetting works, you can't have it be like a PNG or something that goes directly into the page. And even though all the background colors are different than the page color is going to be, I really want to have some distinction. So the border is always going to have a black little section that goes against the edge. And for this, we can't match the background because it's got a texture to it. Well, I guess we could. All right, let's do it. Duplicate this. This is going to cause us problems later, but it'll give us a quick sort of solution now. I wonder if there's a way to get this to delete everything that's outside of the frame. Not that I can tell. Anyway, this solves our problem for now. So we're just going to take this 2 layers and put them all the way above everything else. Nice. And I don't really know how we do this with the other iteration. We could try some experiments, but mostly it's probably going to be best to wait until we get on the PC for it. I think we can just use some kind of mask layer. Oh, so this doesn't want to be above everything because we want her hand to go on top. Yeah. I think I'm going to make this a little smaller. This thing is having such a hard time. I don't know how to get it to delete all the invisible pixels. I guess what I could do is select all and just copy and paste . Yeah, this would work, I think. Yep. So this is technically going to be not matching, but it doesn't really matter. This we can delete. And let's do that same thing with this other layer because this is not great the way that it works here. Okay, so we're just going to copy this, This is probably what causes it to be so problematic. Good, it fits in there perfectly, and we will delete this. Great. Now let's try shutting the document and opening it. That'll certainly make it a little bit faster. Yeah, it's definitely faster. Welcome, Azur, to the show. Good to see you. Are you still using the iPad? Also, hello. Hello, Azur. Yes. So I finally got the functionality where you can stream directly from the iPad to work. I've been trying to do it for a while, but it didn't, it just wouldn't go. So, you know, it's pretty lucky that it just decided to start working now. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're finishing out the Penthesilea picture, and we have some pretty cool concepts like this, you know, burst effect that's happening. Actually, let's fix that. This 180. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this the same design on the bottom, but let's take a look. It's kind of cool. What else could we do down here? Yeah, maybe if we did... Okay, let's keep that for a minute, but we'll also try a new one, which could be this. Nice, simple design. Turn on the guide things. Azur saying, so gorgeous. Thank you, Azur. I really am pretty proud of this project we're doing. I'm happy about this picture in particular, too, because I didn't really think... It was kind of like the least interesting one when we first did it, because I was just learning how to do this sort of Greek-style art. And it was a little bit derivative, I guess, and safe, because it was... the Achilles picture was very directly inspired by one, and I wasn't taking a lot of risks. I didn't know where to experiment. And then after we did all the other stuff, I was like, wow, this one kind of doesn't feel as interesting. So I'm glad that we were able to take the time and, you know, really mess around with it and make it all that it could be. So now we're going to make this design here. So I'm making the guides on a new layer. And just one, okay. Then we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think they can all be equidistant. 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. Now we can turn this down and use this as a guide for our thing. How does this make sense? Okay, I see how it works. Sorta. 1, 2. I'm not sure that this is going to work exactly, but let's try it. Yeah, it needs to have another half measure because it's too far for this part. So let's take that out. Let's add to this. 1, 2. Two, 1, 2, 2. Is there saying, what are you snacking on lately? Fun pics on your Insta. Snacking on, not sure. What in particular are you thinking of? I'm not sure I can remember any food pictures that I took. But yeah, I just came back from the South by Southwest festival. So, me and my friends were doing a bunch of restaurants and movies and all sorts of stuff. It was a great time. Wait, so how does this make sense? If it goes like that and then like this. Yeah, I guess that's right. How about you, Azura? What have you been up to? I saw a bunch of great movies. I really hope they all come out. That's the thing with film festivals. You never know if the movies you see are going to end up coming out because they don't have distribution yet. So a lot of them, like some of the ones I saw at Sundance like 2 years ago are only now coming out. And a lot of the other ones that I really loved never came out. So it's, there's kind of like a hint of sadness mixed in there and like a hint of like, please, like, hopefulness of like, please make sure that this comes out. Because, yeah, it's all up in the air with that stuff. Yeah, this is correct. This is right. Okay. Actually, let's make this the end of the thing. Okay, yeah, then that'll connect to that. So let's get rid of our guide layer. Does that look good? I don't love it. What if we added a little extra stuff in there? Let's put a new layer. As you're saying, I finally got to see BTS at the theater close up. They're so ugly. That's I dragged Michael along. He enjoyed it. Wait, so they're ugly? That's a twist. That's awesome though. That sounds awesome. They seem like the most that I learned about from BTS was when me and my brother got like really into the themed McDonald's meals recently when they did I think the BTS meal was the first one that we had. And then they had the Saweetie meal and some other meal, and it became like an event for us where we were like, we gotta go, get the new meal or whatever. We're basically exactly, like living up to what McDonald's wanted their customers to do with these meal things, because we totally went just specifically because of them. And then every time we would get one of the meals, we would like put on that person's music, even if we never heard of it. And yeah, I ended up hearing a lot of BTS songs like that, and I enjoyed them. No, don't really like that. What if we made like... What if we made the lines thicker? Yeah, that's better. You're saying it was 3.25 hours. Wow, that's a heck of a show. That's like a Springsteen show. That is some real stamina. Yeah, I saw, I would say like Springsteen or like Fish, which I experienced my first Fish concert recently. They went on for a really long time, but 3.25 hours. That's like maybe the longest that I, up there with the longest ones that I've ever seen. Good for them. Using all that stamina. And they're dancing and doing all their stuff too. That's tough. I saw some pretty good acts at South by, because when you're in the film festival, you can still go to the music stuff. The music stuff is just happening at bars all around the fest. In the street, there's kind of like a New Orleans style, like Bourbon Street area in Austin, where there's just like bars. Every single place is a bar next to each other, and they all have music acts happening. And so South by, I guess, like, programs the music acts to appear at all those venues, and you, using your film badge, you can get in for free with no cover, as long as, I guess it's like music people get first priority, but we never had a problem with it at all. Yeah, I saw a few really good ones there. Okay, this is way better. The thick line is way better. So let's merge this. And now we'll do our thing with the bottom part. Actually, just to be safe, let's not merge these yet, and we'll put them all together at the end. And let's get rid of this. And this. Seems pretty much exactly right. Okay, now we're going to take all these, put them in a group, duplicate the group, and then merge this. So now this is a one and done layer. Then we duplicate stuff. Good. And this is a little messy the way that it ties together, so we got to do some Band-Aid work with that. Let's merge these so we can work on them both at the same time. Good. Duplicate. Do it again. Welcome, One Tire Fire, to the show. What are you making? So we're working on illustrations for a book that I'm publishing. It's my own illustrated edition of a ancient Greek story called Posthomerica. We've finished all the designs for the 14 books, and now we're just finalizing going back and finalizing each one. Okay, what are you up to today, One Tire Fire? Is there saying, of course they're not ugly, they're prettier than some girls. Yeah, they're very glamorous, BTS. They can sell stuff for sure. I like reading the press releases for the McDonald's meals. There's a great, if you don't know the podcast, My Brother and Me, I haven't listened to it in the last couple of years, but I used to listen to it all the time for years and years. And I don't know if they still do it, but they had this great segment where they would, read with enthusiasm all of the press releases of fast food companies when they announce some new concept that they're coming out with, and it's always great because they're so the way that a corporation has to write their press release, and they add so much weird gravity to this. All it is a KFC new chicken sandwich. It's not that important, but they always make it sound like it's way more important than it is. Yeah, this is way better. I like this design for the bottom a lot better. Okay. Good. Now we can do the same thing we did with the other layer and do it with this. So first of all, let's take these things, 1, 2, 3, put them all in a layer, or a group rather. Then we got these. Okay, so we'll just take this. Am I on the right layer here? Grab the stuff we want. Then we go back here. Should be able to paste it right on top. Great. Okay, get rid of that. Is there saying anything to add revenue is serious stuff? Yeah, exactly. It's they always describe it too, where it's diehard fans of this chicken sandwich or whatever are gonna flip out when they see this, and it's like, are they? Like, does anybody care that much about, this corporate branding or whatever? It's always a good time to read that stuff. Okay, so we're obviously going to want to put the characters on the actual planes. And let's make a general layer just for all character-based instances. We probably also want to move the background along with them, because the spear point, thing is oh geez. Okay, that's not good. We can just use this. Very carefully here. Yeah, that center point needs to be where their spears are hitting. It's even now not really centered correctly, but we can fix that.